Let's talk about something that I feel doesn't get explained properly in this community. Pi DEX. Everyone keeps saying it's coming, everyone keeps waiting for it, but if you asked most pioneers to sit down and actually describe what a Pi DEX would look like, how it would work, what you'd actually do on it, I think a lot of people would go quiet. And that's not a criticism, it's just that the conversation around Pi DEX has mostly been about when it's coming, not what it actually is. So today, let's slow it down and actually think through this properly. First, let's start with the basics. A decentralized exchange, a DEX, is a platform that lets you swap or trade tokens directly, peer-to-peer, without any company in the middle holding your funds. When you use a centralized exchange, something like Binance or OKX, you're trusting that platform with your assets. They hold them, they match your orders, they process your withdrawals. You're relying on them. A DEX flips that. On a DEX, trades happen through smart contracts. Code handles the transaction automatically. Nobody holds your tokens for you. You keep custody of your own wallet at all times. That's the core idea. Now, the most famous DEX out there is probably Uniswap on Ethereum. You go in, you connect your wallet, you pick which token you want to swap, and the smart contract handles everything in seconds. No sign up, no waiting for withdrawals, just you, your wallet, and the contract. So what would that look like on Pi? This is where it gets interesting, because Pi isn't Ethereum. Pi runs on the Stellar Consensus Protocol. It has its own architecture, its own smart contract system called Soroban, and most importantly, it has a user base that is largely non-technical. Most pioneers are everyday people. They've never touched a DEX in their lives. So a real Pi DEX can't just be a copy of Uniswap. It has to be something different, something built for this community specifically. Here's what I think a real functional Pi DEX would need. First, the interface has to be clean and mobile first. Almost everything in Pi happens on the phone. Mining, the wallet, the app, so the DEX needs to work just as easily. Simple enough that someone who's never traded crypto before gets it within a minute. If it's confusing, adoption dies before it starts. Next is what you actually trade against. On most DEXs, you need a base asset. Think ETH or USDC on Uniswap. For Pi DEX, that base would naturally be Pi itself. So when new tokens launch through Pi Launchpad, you'd be trading them against Pi. That gives Pi real utility, not just speculation. And that matters, because one common criticism is that Pi doesn't have enough actual use yet. A DEX fixes that. Every swap creates real demand for Pi. Then there's token vetting. The core team has already mentioned this, and it's a smart move. Pi DEX is designed to screen tokens instead of letting anyone list anything. That matters because open DEXs get flooded with scam tokens, fake coins that drain your funds and vanish. If Pi DEX screens what gets listed, it protects pioneers, especially newer ones. None of this works without liquidity though. A DEX with no liquidity gives you bad prices on every trade and people leave. Liquidity comes from regular users depositing token pairs into pools and earning fees for it. So Pi DEX needs to make that worthwhile. Good fees, real trading volume, and token pairs people actually want. Honestly, this is the hard part. You can have the best looking app in the world, but without liquidity behind it, it falls apart. Last is something unique to Pi, KYC. You'd need to be verified to use the DEX, which isn't how Uniswap works. Some see that as a limitation. I see it differently. It means everyone trading is a real, verified person. Fewer bots, less manipulation. That could actually make Pi DEX more trustworthy than a lot of what's already out there. So where are we right now? The honest answer is that Pi DEX is still in development. Protocol 23 activated smart contract functionality on the network, which is the foundation Pi DEX needs to actually run. And with V25 going live, Soroban smart contracts are now running on nodes. That's real foundational progress. But progress on the infrastructure side doesn't automatically mean the DEX is ready to use. The core team has clarified that blockchain protocol upgrades and ecosystem product rollouts follow separate timelines. Smart contracts arriving with a protocol upgrade doesn't mean Pi DEX arrives at the same time. So we wait. But now, hopefully, you know what you're actually waiting for. A real Pi DEX would be mobile first, Pi-based trading pairs, quality vetted tokens, deep enough liquidity, and KYC-backed trust. That's the vision. And if the core team can execute on all 5 of those things together, not just 1 or 2, that's when Pi starts looking like a genuinely functional Web3 ecosystem, not just a network people are holding and hoping on. If this broke it down in a way that made sense to you, drop a comment below. And if you're new here, welcome. We do Pi content the honest way on this channel. Just facts. See you in the next one.